next to the 2026 California governor race, a move that's raising some questions about the 2028 presidential race. Harris wrote, quote, "In recent months, I've given serious thought to asking the people of California for the privilege to serve as their governor. But after deep reflection, I have decided that I will not run for governor this election," adding, "For now, my leadership and public service will not be in elected office." And the current California governor, Gavin Newsom, praised Harris and her political career. But one unnamed California House Democrat is telling CNN just last week, quote, "There's no groundswell for her candidacy. In fact, I think it would only fire up Republicans." Joining me now, pollster Frank Luntz and CNN political commentator Karen Finney. So Karen, read the tea leaves for me. Why is she not running for governor in California?
I think a couple of reasons. Number one, I just don't think it was in her heart right now to do it. I mean, she ran what most people get 2 years to do in 107 days. And I think, the most important thing if you run for any office, you have to know in your soul that you want to do it and that you're willing to make the compromises. I mean, not the compromise, but the sacrifices to be able to actually execute on that office. The other thing I think is worth talking about is she would have to have a conversation with voters about her version of what happened in 2024. I mean, there's still a lot of questions
why she lost.
As to why she lost. I mean, the DNC is doing an audit. There are a lot of questions about what happened and how did it happen, what happened to that money. So I think, you have to be prepared to have that conversation and put forward your own vision and this is why I want to be governor of California. And the last thing I'll say, I don't know if this was part of her consideration, but it certainly was something that occurred to me. If she were to run for governor right now, she would absolutely be a target for Trump. And that would be a distraction from a lot of the other work that is being done to try to, whether it is find places where there are compromise or, push back on what Trump is doing. So I think it was the right decision.
How do voters see it? What do the polls tell us?
They tell us that she was the front runner by far.
For the governorship.
For the governorship, that not just among Democrats, but among Californians, I believe that she would have run. If she'd run, that she would have won. To me, I go back to...
Even in spite of what Karen described.
Yes, because I go back to 2024, and it was one of the worst campaigns. Now remember, after her convention, she was leading. After that debate with Donald Trump, she was leading. She could have won this. But in the end, she never told people what she would do in that first hour, the first day, in the first week. And these are things that the voters wanted to know. That she had taken positions that were different in 2024 than when she was running in 2020, and voters want consistency. But the most important factor on immigration, which was the number one issue, and on affordability, which was the number 1.1 issue, she didn't have an answer. She chose to focus on Donald Trump rather than the things that were affecting people in their day-to-day lives. And that's what any politician watching right now needs to focus on, because that's what the voters are talking about.
Well, one thing though, she says in her press statement that she was not going to run for now, right? But that she wants to help elect Democrats across the nation. Do you have concerns about her campaigning, given her defeat and what you articulated?
No, I actually think she'll be a huge hit on the campaign trail. I mean, she was, MVP in 2022. I think people will be excited to see her on the campaign trail. It's a very different thing when you're out there as a surrogate for someone else than when you are out there making the case for yourself. So I think, there's a lot of love for her within the party. I mean, I think people feel like, they recognize it probably would have been worse if we hadn't had the switch. I mean, just given the way the polls were going. I think she saved us from 75 million people voted for her. She got 10 million more votes than Hillary Clinton did. So at least for the candidacy of a woman, she did help move us forward. Do you agree, Frank?
No.
Tell me why.
I think she actually set it back. I think that if someone like Wes Moore had decided to run, he would have run a better campaign because there would have been more substance to it. It's not just...
And that's so...
Hold on, though,
Let me finish. It's not just what your gender is. It's not just how you look. It's what you stand for and what you represent. And at the time, and she had every opportunity, because of that debate, to prove to the American people she was up for it. I don't think things have changed since then. Yes, I agree with you that she is an awesome spokesperson for the Democrats. But for the independents, for the people that switch between 20 and 2024, they switched to Donald Trump not because of Donald Trump, not all because of him. Some of it was switching away from her. Latinos, union members, younger male voters, 3 different groups that moved to the Democratic Party because they didn't see that she was the answer.
But Frank, but you're ignoring a lot of what was actually going on. For 2 years, Donald Trump's team was in the manosphere, reaching out to men, Latino men, black men, young men. And remember that when Barack Obama won, he had, at the beginning of his campaign, a year out, they looked at the electorate and said, I cannot win in this electorate. What's the electorate I can win in? It's got to be blacker and browner and younger. And that's what they spent the primary doing, so that when he won, he actually won. It was the electorate that they knew he could win in. She did not have the benefit. I hate re-adjudicating 2024, but she didn't even have the benefit of trying to do that to win those voters over. She had 107 days
But hold
to try
on,
to
on
make
that
the
one,
case
on
to
that
those
one point,
voters.
I'm curious though, because she was a part of an incumbent administration.
Yeah.
It's just they did not have their thumb on the pulse of what the electorate was that they needed.
Well, no, but again, in 107 days, when you're trying to make the case for yourself, you don't have the same amount of time to actually have that conversation with voters and to go where they are, frankly, because a lot of it, it's a matter of time. I mean, time is undefeated in a campaign. It's the one thing that is finite.
Before you get out, she did not have an answer for affordability because things were more expensive. She did not have an answer for immigration because it was a mess at the border. She did not have an answer for the things that mattered most for most people, and I don't think that has changed. You can blame race, you can blame gender, you can blame Trump's campaign. In the end, look at yourself. We're all responsible for what we say, we're all responsible for what we do, and she didn't have what it took to be president.
In 107 days.
In 2024, she had
In 107 days.
She had more money than God, and she still.
In 107 days.
Yeah, she had more money than God. She won the debate.
Only
She lost.
107
She
days.
lost.
Yes,
I think the name of Karen's book is going to be 107 Days. Everyone else saying that. You know who's happy though? Probably Governor Gavin Newsom. Frank, Karen, thank you both so
Thank
much.
you.
Still ahead tonight.